the Staff Hearing Officer meeting of January 8th, 2025. We'll begin with preliminary matters. Ms. Gu, do we have any requests for continuances, withdrawals, postponements, or addition of ex-agenda items?
At this time, no, we do not. We don't have any ex-agenda items, continuances, withdrawals, or postponements. Thank you.
Very good. Any announcements and appeals? I have an announcement of an appeal. That's an appeal of 1517 Shoreline Drive. This was a front setback modification and coastal development permit that was approved by Staff Hearing Officer on December 18th, and that has not yet been scheduled for Planning Commission. Ms. Gu, do you have any other announcements?
No, there were no other announcements. Thank you.
And do we have any comments from members of the public pertaining to items not on this agenda?
No, we did not receive any public comment pertaining to items that were not on the agenda today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to the new item that's on this agenda, 2436 Calle Andalucia, and Holly Garson is our planner, and she will be presenting this project. Ms. Garson.
Thank you. Can I have the mouse? Thanks. So she's still gonna switch. I mean, she's supposed to switch there, but right?
No, you can go to the Teams folder from here. So you could just X out of
Oh, I see. Here? It's okay to click on it? Okay. Let's see. Is there a drawing? Or could I click on it? This one? Should I download it and then open it? I haven't done it this way yet.
It's okay. I might not.
Let's see. I think it's better to have it in PDF. Although I don't have the hand now to pan around. Where is that tool? You know the hand tool I'm talking about? Yeah, it's gonna be, I can do it this way. It just might be a little clunkier. Okay. Apologies for that. Okay, for the record, thank you, Mr. Gullett, Holly Garson, Assistant Planner with Planning and Zoning, and I will be giving the staff presentation today. So just kicking it off for the record, I'll be reading the project description. It is a proposal to construct a 304 square feet of conforming first floor additions to the existing non-conforming 1,575 square foot single story, single unit residence. The project qualifies for substantial redevelopment. An existing 422 square foot 2-car attached garage will remain. The project also includes removal of a mulberry tree in the rear yard, proposal for new trees, landscape, hardscape, and site improvements. The proposed total of 2,301 square feet of development on a 10,019 square foot lot is 62% of the maximum required floor to lot area ratio, or FAR. The project requests 2 zoning modifications from the Staff Hearing Officer today. A front setback modification to allow a portion of the existing attached garage to remain located in the front setback combined with substantial redevelopment, and to allow the roof slope to exceed the allowable, and an interior setback modification to allow a portion of the existing residence to remain located in the easterly interior setback, also combined with substantial redevelopment, and to allow the roof slope to exceed the allowable. So up on the screen, This is the cover sheet of the drawings. There is a vicinity map here. We're at 2436 Calle Andalucia. It's located pretty close to Elings Park, as you can see. Okay, starting with some site photos. You can see the subject lot is here. Here's the residence and that existing attached garage. Moving downward, next door, there's a 2-story residence. And then again, adjacent to that, another 2-story residence as you head down the street. You can see the slope topography here of the street. And then this view here is looking directly across the street from the subject lot. So again, a mix of 1-story, 2-story homes, significantly sloping down the street. Here's some project photos. You can see the side yard, the rear yard, the other side. Okay. Down on this sheet, there is an existing site survey. Again, the residence and garage, and you can kind of see the existing landscape, hardscape, and topography of the site is noted. Above, there are additional site photos. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. What is happening? Or is it? Okay. Okay. We'll go back to. Okay. Additional site photos of the residence and then as seen from the street as well. Wanted to hone in on site photo number 4, and this just shows it's a prime example of the conditions, you know, lot to lot as it slopes downhill. You can see the topography change there. Okay, here's a proposed site plan. Again, the residence garage here in the gray hashing, those are the conforming first floor additions that make up the 304 square feet total, so pretty minor. And you can also see that the existing garage was constructed with permits to partially encroach into what is now the 30-foot front setback, so this area here, this line's a 30-foot front setback, as well as a portion of the residence encroaches into the required 10-foot interior setback. So that's this line here with my cursor. So just this small portion of the residence is not conforming to the setback. And the architect applicant has certified that substantial redevelopment will occur as a result of the proposed project. So in other words, this is considered a full demolition and new construction of a residence. So substantial redevelopment per the zoning code is when 2 of 3 conditions are completed within a 5-year period, and that being more than 50% of the structural elements of the roof or roof framing is removed, or more than 50% of the structural exterior walls, or 50% of the foundation. So per code, when a project triggers substantial redevelopment, generally, then the residence and garage must conform to the current setbacks, or they must request a modification to remain encroaching. So that is partially the request for the front and interior setback modifications today, and there are no changes in openings within those setbacks. Okay, here are some elevations, zooming in. This is the garage again in the residence. Might be a little small. Here we go. As part of the project, the applicant does propose to replace the roof and therefore increase the height of the overall residence an attached garage just by 10 inches. So they're going from 17 feet 4 inches to 18 feet 4 inches. You can kind of see that noted here. They're also proposing to sort of flatten out the facade of the roof, which the applicant can speak to more in their presentation, but that's just seen here. Here's a roof plan. So just highlighting this because the existing and proposed roof slope of the residence and garage is 6-inch rise over 12-inch run. So although the portion of the residence located in the easterly interior setback and the garage located in the front setback would not be increasing in height by more than the allowed 42 inches, the existing and proposed roof slope exceeds the allowable 4 and 12, which is only permissible under a minor zoning exception. So therefore, the roof slope itself also triggers the front and interior setback modifications. Moving back to the site plan. So staff is supportive of the 2 zoning modifications requested today. The project allows for a modest conforming additions as discussed, with this gray area being very minor. And it would be unreasonable to conform with the front setback, as this would result in less than a 2-car garage for the lot here, and 2 covered parking spaces are required for this lot. And it would be seen as a financial hardship to create the situation where the existing encroachment for the residents would need to be demolished and just moved a couple of feet to conform. And the existing residence and garage, they are a part of a housing tract development where many of the lots in the neighborhood have similar lot developments and footprints. So staff feels that this modification allows the lot to remain consistent and uniform with the existing patterns of development in the neighborhood. And there was an adjacent neighborhood letter provided as part of the staff report Exhibit C. The project was also reviewed by the Single Family Design Board, SFDB Full Board, on August 7th of 2024 and October 28th of 2024. The SFDB provided positive comments regarding the aesthetic appropriateness of allowing the portions of the residence and attached garage to remain located in those non-conforming conditions. And the board also stated support for the bulk and scale of the project and that it worked well with the neighborhood. The board was also in support of the 10-inch proposed raise of the gabled roof in each setback, and now that is seen as Exhibit B, meeting minutes attached to the staff report. So this concludes staff presentation, and I'm here for questions if needed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Garson. Also here is Chris Manson-Hing. He's the architect for the project. Mr. Manson-Hing, if you have anything to add, and if you could specifically address what the physical changes are to the building within those two setbacks and the thought behind those changes as well.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me here. In the front yard setback in the 2-car garage, there are no changes to the use of the interior of the garage. A car parks in that spot, and it will continue to park in that spot. And on the interior yard setback on that side, there were 2 bedrooms and a bathroom on that side, and that will continue to be its use, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So there's really no change at all in what's in the setbacks.
And if you could also address the physical changes to the building, including the ridge height and any other roof changes within those setbacks, just briefly.
Yeah, so the existing roof slope is 6 and 12, and it remains at 6 and 12, even, and the finishes are the same, asphalt shingles. And really what generates this rise is that we have a new energy code at this time, and while the old roof system was built on a 2x4 framing with trusses, we need a 10-inch depth to be able to have insulated to the code required now. And the owner is still thinking that, while she's doing this major remodel, the 8-foot ceiling is just a tad too low for today's, and she's rested a modest 8'6" rise plate. And so coupled with those two things creates this 10-inch rise. And that's really what the difference is.
Very good. Thank you for that. And as Ms. Garson noted, there were public comments provided by either neighbor on either side of this property. Could you speak to conversations with those two neighbors at 2432, sorry, Calle Andalucia, and 2540 Calle Galicia?
The owner of the project, Rochelle Rosales, we invited the two adjoining neighbors, Paul Miller and Laura and Bruce Wallace, over to review the whole project with them over the drawings, and wanted to show them exactly how it would affect them in any way. We've taken great pains, Rochelle Rosales, not to do anything above the garage, because that does affect their view corridor towards the ocean, and all the community in that area treasures those views. And other than that, there were no other issues in the development that the neighbors had with the project, and so really lent their support to the project for us.
Okay, thank you for that. Is there anything else you'd like to add to?
No, I think that's it, and thanks. That's so well developed précis of the whole project.
That's good. Yes, and thank you, Ms. Garson, for that. Ms. Good, do we have any public comment on anyone on Zoom that has their hand up to speak to this item?
Upon checking Zoom, I do not see any raised hands or attendees. And checking the room, we do not have any present. Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you, Ms. Gu. With that, I'll close the public hearing. Thank you again to the applicant for the application materials and Ms. Garson for the good staff work. I concur with Ms. Garson's recommendation to approve the two zoning modifications. This is a modest addition. It's an appropriate improvement on the lot that is sensitively taken into account the neighborhood. And I concur with the CEQA findings. And with that, I can approve this project. This action is appealable to Planning Commission, and I'll put up some information on that. It's appealable within 10 days to a Planning Commission. For information on how to appeal, please contact planning staff at the number on the screen. Appeal must be filed in person at 630 Garden Street or through email at the email address on the screen. And that would have to be postmarked after the 10th calendar day, or before the 10th calendar day after today's decision. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you.